I did think of you. We're talking to Sal Paolanntonio, ESPN National correspondent covering the NFL. The Bryce Young situation. I go back to draft night when you came on during the draft. Even before the draft, I think you said, whoever Carolina takes, they are starting the season. And we were surprised that they would make that declaration already without really seeing who they have, to support if it was C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. Your thoughts when you heard Bryce Young was being benched?
My thought was you had C.J. Stroud on your racket, and you should have taken him. It was something that was discussed. There's no question about it. And, this is what we do. You Monday morning quarterback, big decisions like this. When you get it wrong at the top of the draft with your quarterback, it sets you back 3 to 5 years. It just does. Now, Andy Dalton is serviceable in the interim if you can try to fix Bryce Young, but I don't know if he can play at the NFL level. And I said that when he was drafted. I was very skeptical about it because of his size, his ability to see over the rush, his ability, you have to create passing lanes like Sean Payton did for Drew Brees. I mean, Saban gave up on Brees in Miami because he didn't think he was big enough. Obviously had that injury, but still. And Sean Payton designed something that turned him into a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I'm not going to compare Drew Brees to Bryce Young, but what I'm saying is, like you said before, and I was listening to you, you have to have everything in place for a young quarterback. You have to have the right options and components at the offensive line position and the wide receiver position, something like what the Bears are doing with Caleb Williams. And then coaching and design matters. They matter. And so you have to have that. And now he's on his second play caller with Dave Canales, who did a pretty good job with Baker Mayfield last year. So I don't know. I don't see teams trading for Bryce Young. I mean, what would you give up for Bryce Young?
Well, Dallas gave a fourth round pick for Trey Lance.
Okay. Trey Lance is a different cat now. Trey Lance has got a big arm, and he's much bigger, faster, stronger than Bryce Young.
Wait, you like Trey Lance better than Bryce Young?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Oh, boy. That's a hot take.
I do. Well, I think it's pretty clear. Yeah. I mean, Bryce Young needs a lot of coaching and time to learn. He's got to sit and learn.
Yeah.
And they've got to get stuff around him. But, here's the thing, Dan. You got 9 0-2 teams in the NFL right now, including 3 teams that were clearly expected to be playoff teams: the Rams, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Last 5 years, teams that started 0-2 made the playoffs 5% of the time. 5%. So Carolina's got to refigure things and figure out, okay, what are we doing for next season? And there's some other teams like that. I'm not counting the Rams, Bengals, and Ravens in that category, but, it's hard to go to the playoffs when you start 0-2, and really, really hard when you start 0-3.